Last time on our Lobarks Tatooine MOC, we removed the Crate Dragon attack area and put it into Lobricks archives. Now we can finally put down our brand new LEGO UCS Jabba's Sail Barge. So as we remove the final pieces of the old Crate Dragon attack, we realize we have this big blue space where we're supposed to put the sail barge scene, which means in addition to the sail barge, we also have some base plates to put down.
But anyway, we're just gonna fill in these base plates one by one to refill in where the old Moss Pelago and Worm scene were, and just kind of, cover it up and get ready for our new and improved scene. Alright, so we have affixed all of the plates to the surface of Tatooine here. Now we're going to bring over the ludicrously overpriced LEGO set, the Jabba's UCS Sail Barge, which I don't know, I thought it was definitely a little bit too expensive for what you got. I thought they should have added more figures. I mean, just look at this beautiful set over here. It was only like 350 bucks, and it came with way more figures, and it's not like these figures required less molds. This guy required a new mold, new face printing. There was also Hammerhead on the inside that had a new mold. Devil Guy had a new mold. So LEGO really went above and beyond on this set, proving that they can do it at a cheaper price point, and then kind of screwed us over with the Jabba's Sail Barge. At least that's kind of how I feel on the situation. But we're going to come and bring it over here, and that's what's going to be our starting point for this scene, which I think is a pretty good starting point because the build itself is really solid.
So Assistant, this is kind of brand new virgin territory in Tatooine, something we haven't had in a long time. It kind of looks cool.
Yeah, a little bit. It's definitely a refreshing sight compared to what was there before.
Yes.
This is how the original plan was. Back in episode 1, if you go and watch it, that was the intended scene for that area. So we're actually making good on our promises like 4 years later or something.
4 years later.
And we're going to actually finish out Jabba's Palace. We're going to make it look good. I know we did a lot of work with the base, and that's really solid, but we obviously need to finish out the top. So this whole area is going to get a nice facelift, and then hopefully, fingers crossed, we can get this whole MOC to brick roll without catastrophic failure. Actually, this area that's going to give us the most problems. I mean, look at how many base plates we're dealing with. The end of this base plate's here, and then it kind of runs to there. We had modularity in mind, but then we did stuff like this, which is just, like, it's not great. And this is just, Howard, this is so fragile. Like, look at
I know what Target Legend would say. We should Mills the shit out of this.
There's no way that this MOC would get milled without it just getting destroyed.
Yeah, it would get destroyed.
It's this area in particular.
Yeah.
It's just too...
Our organic mountainous regions.
Yeah, there's so much about this that is so sketchy. That is.
Yes. This was built very sketchily by newbies.
Yeah.
Being us, you and me.
Yeah, you know what? I'm not changing my building techniques either. I don't care.
My building techniques were trial and error.
I do not care.
Nonsense. That usually results in stuff falling apart, which is how we like it.
Our sandcrawler is going to be ludicrously out of scale to the sail barge, so that's something that's going to make me a little upset. Maybe in the future.
UCS sandcrawler.
Maybe another 4 years. We'll see.
Yep. So this is a question I've been asking for a long time, Assistant. We did some measurements, and I'm still skeptical. Will the UCS sail barge fit?
It's going to fit. It might be a little big, but I think it's going to act as like that centerpiece backboard, if you will, because that's what the mountain did before.
Yep.
Because the Sarlacc pit and then the two skiffs around it aren't going to be too much of, substance. So it would be nice to get that nice big centerpiece of the scene.
A corner piece, if you will.
Some would say a corner piece. We just got to make sure it doesn't fall off the end because it's floppy.
Yeah, it's very floppy. So, should we bring it over?
Bring it over. All right, here it is, Jabba's Sail Barge in UCS form. Let's get it over to our UCS MOC. It is an Ultimate Collector's Edition. So, Leaky, would you like to do the honors here?
Yes. Lobarks is here. And Lobarks, I don't want to trip over you. If I drop this, you're going in the stew.
Oh, right in the stew.
Poor Lobarks.
Anyway, let's move it. Are we going to remove the stand? Or I guess for now we're just gonna set her on there.
Yeah, we're gonna have to integrate it into the, you know, into the landscape later.
See. Let's. There's where it's gonna be set, right there.
Which way should it face? This way?
I was saying the other way, because in the scene it was facing this direction.
Gotcha. Alright. Spin her around. This is actually pretty sturdy.
Yeah, and there you go. There's maybe a little bit back.
Well, it's very flimsy. We're on flippy, floppy terrain.
Well, I remember in the scene it was like there's a skiff there, the pit,
Sarlacc
and then
pit
it was
here.
kind of, it was, but you're right. With it sitting like that, if we actually look at what is on the table and what's not, with a $500 Lego set, you never want to see that much.
Well, what if we just shifted it just slightly that way?
I mean, it's slightly wrong, but that's...
Oh. Well, what if we...
I don't know. I mean, what do you... The commenters, I guess, are going to have to decide. But there it is. I do think it looks really, really good. But it does bring up the question as to why we didn't really use the UCS models before, especially within our Hoth MOC, because if you look at our Jabba's Palace build, even though it's not complete, it does bring up a question of scale. Because if you just take a step back, the Jabba's sail barge does become almost comically large in comparison to the palace. Because remember, this thing had to like fit under there. It just doesn't. So it is interesting. It's not going to be perfect, but I think it's going to work, and it's a little bit of an exception, especially if we build a big Sarlacc pit and use somewhat big skiffs. I don't know if we're going to use the skiff from the modern day, mostly because Lego's charging $80 for that, and I refuse to participate in that chicanery. I think we're going to use the skiff from the 2013 version of the Jabba's
Target Legend gave us 2 skiffs to build that are really good.
Well, there we go. So Target Legend, the moderator of the Discord, if you are interested in anything Lego related, you have to check out the Lobricks Discord. There are tons of Lego nerds in there that are constantly sharing their little things, and Target Legend is the moderator on there. He also has a store called Witch City Bricks, and you can find any Lego set on there, new, old, retired. It will be there for you to find. So he is definitely the go-to guy when it comes to Legos. So we'll use those skiffs. They'll be great, perfectly in scale with everything we got going on here, and it's not going to be a problem. It's just going to be a little bit awkward in comparison to our other scenes on the MOC.
So, assistant, should I put the reasonably priced minifigures here, or is that just blasphemy?
I mean, are they actually any different? Like, is the Jabba figure like any different? Because I saw people are like online were only charging like $40 for this version of Jabba, but then they're like, oh well, but this one's from the UCS sail barge, so it's worth $150. Like, what's the, like, guys, I don't know how to tell you this, but just because they changed the color slightly does not mean it's a different minifigure. Like, look, they maybe they darkened some lines, and is it even more accurate? I don't know. You can't tell. And these figures even worse. They just changed his torso a little bit. They didn't even give him a new design. And that figure came in a $100 version of this set. You don't even have to go super far back and be around in 2014, because that has an even worse version of that minifigure. So there really is no benefit to buying the set outside of the build, because the minifigures aren't really worth it. Unless you're a Slave Leia fangirl. In that case, I totally understand. It just does bring up a question of, should we be paying this much money when the value really isn't there? I don't know. We're Lego fans. We'll do it anyway.
It looks good on Tatooine, though.
It really does. I think for our case, it's just, we have to. It's what else are we gonna do?
Yeah, we gotta do it.
Like, we're the target demographic for this set. Like, it's ridiculous. But anyway, guys, that's gonna do it for this episode. Next episode, we are going to be doing all kinds of actual building. We're going to be repairing Ben's hut. We're gonna be taking a look at Jabba's palace and seeing what needs to be done and doing some stuff with this tower here. And of course, we are going to start our inclined build up over there. But stay tuned for next time, guys, and I appreciate you watching, and I will see you in the next one.